Ladies and gentlemen, listen to what I'm saying and don't dismiss what I'm saying, because I know when I say this, people immediately start to they'll just, the smart asses will come in and they'll say something. So take what I'm saying and listen very carefully. This is not only the best talk radio subject because it's about race, but it's probably one of the most important, because I can't say enough. I can't put it into words enough how this stupid American Eagle Sydney Sweeney, which normally what you would think doesn't really make that much sense. It is American values. That's right, American, the stuff that we find of interest. Normal, non-woke, not white, but non-woke stuff. We have been made for the longest time to gain some kind of allergy, to the notion of whiteness or white pulchritude or white sexiness or white, whatever you want to call this. We've been told this since day one, that we have no say in this, that it's going to be black, multicultural, Latino, fat, obese, trans, gay, LGBTQIT, two-spirit, again, obese, non-white, non-traditional, non-anything. And white, we have been told, is evil. White is evil. I never thought, so help me God, as I swear to you, I've never thought of myself as white. It never occurred to me. I maybe would put myself in a kind of a, if there's some kind of some demographic, if you're filling out a form, but I never, ever put myself in the position where I identified with white America or white, thank you, or white, never. Lionel mugs, go to the merch, fine for just in time for Christmas, fine for dad or grad. Look at that. You get your own mug right there with my mug. Get it, do it, ask for it by name. Kids love it. It's a great stocking stuffer. Again, fine for dad or grad, and yes, mom, it makes julienne fries. But I never, ever thought or connected one way or another with this notion of whiteness until I kept being told constantly that I've got to embrace this absolute hideousness. I've been told that I have no say, that there is no such thing anymore as gender. There's no such, that white is somehow tantamount to and regarding racism. Well, let me tell you something. I have had it, and it is critical. And I've been saying that, believe it or not, and I'm trying to tell you, do not think for a moment that the biggest issues in the world are, I hate to say it, tariffs. Nobody understands tariffs. Nobody knows what tariffs are. Nobody gets it. Tariffs. What the hell are tariffs? Americans don't know this. What are we, Stuart Varney? We don't know this stuff. We're not paying attention to this. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, we want it to be. We try to pretend that it is. I mean, we tell ourselves, no, this is important. It's not important because we don't understand it. We, honest to God, do not understand a word of it. Do you hear what I'm saying? We don't understand a word of it. This is what matters. Because the people that run the show, the people that have been systematically trying for the longest time to destroy everything and anything that is American, I want you to listen carefully and try your best. And please, I ask this later on when people have said to me later on, they've watched back, this, and they've read the comments. People have said, who are these people? I said, I don't know. They're comedian wannabes or something. So This is serious. So I ask you today, maybe just, I don't know, maybe once, try to really listen and answer the question, because so many of you are not funny. This isn't funny. There's nothing to be funny about. Life is not a quip. It's not a pun. It's not a paranomasia. It's not the usual stuff. This is serious. And they have suffered a blow you can't believe it. Speaking of low blows, how's your mother? Remember that joke? I'm telling you, this is at American Eagle. Their response is nothing short of brilliant. Their response is brilliant. It's excellent. Basically telling you and saying, we're going to do anything that we want. They don't apologize for anything. And why should they apologize? For the longest time, we have been told that we have no say, that there's nothing that we do that has anything to do with anything, that we are not a part of anything, that our say, our take, our perspective means nothing. Well, let me tell you something, and I'm going to say it again. We have had it. And it bothered us the most, because sometimes the most, during the periods of Soviet horrors and the like, what really bothered Russians and people then when they talked about it, they didn't talk about communism or planned economies or the Leninism. No. They talked about bread lines, and they talked about things like, by the way, Fred, thank you so much. They talked about things that you felt, things that were palpable, things that were tenable, things that were actual, things that were, when you talk about COVID, we look back, we'll talk about those stupid masks and Karens and how we had to stand on adhesive strips 6 feet away. That's what we remember. Sometimes that can explicate the lunacy of something better than anything else. So when we look back at these times, we're going to be saying to ourselves, what is the purpose? How did we ever live through this? And how did we let people come after white people? We were told to just shut up. We were white. Shut up. We don't want to hear from you. Guess who was telling us to shut up? We were white. Guess. You're right. White people. These annoying ass white people. These folks who said, I'm going to out-left you. I'm going to talk about white privilege, as they drove around in their stupid Range Rovers behind gated communities. And they had absolutely nothing to do with black people, nothing to do with negritude, nothing to do with any of this stuff. But they played a great game. And you and I were forced to just take it. We used to say, you don't mean. I'll never forget, years ago, I will never, ever, ever forget. We had a woman friend of ours who was a nut. And years ago, she was a downtown artiste. She was an artiste. She felt, she was empathic. Okay? And she said, so help me God, I'm Afro-sympathetic. And I said, I can't take it. I looked at my wife and I said, I can't take it. I got to say something. Please. I got to say something. And I just said, what does that mean? Afro-sympathetic. What does that mean? Tell me. She's a true story. I can't make this up. Afro-sympathetic. You're sympathetic to Afros to Africans? What? He says, well, black. I said, you said, and this is important. You said something about, I guess it's important. You said Afro-sympathetic. Barack Obama has probably more to do with Africa than you and I will do. But most people in this country have nothing to do with Africa. They've never been to the continent of Africa or any of the attendant countries. They don't speak anything. It is a label. It is a hashtag. It is a pronoun. It is another meaningless designation of some type of attribute, some type of geographical or cultural attribution, that has nothing to do with reality. These people are not African. You are not Afro-sympathetic to anything. They have no connection to Africa. Stop with this African bullshit. They have nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with any of the countries theoretically associated with my parentage. I've told you, the only group of people that I can tell you in my life, the only familial people, customs or otherwise, that I have been a part of, that I can say that I feel anything about, has been that of Sicilian. My Sicilian grandmothers, my nanas, my tias, all that stuff. That's it. And even then, my Italian is virtually non-existent. I have never been to Italy or Sicily. I have nothing to do with this. So when I say I'm Sicilian, no, I'm not Sicilian. My grandmother, her sisters, but that's it. That's it. Just like the Irish. Oh, I'm Irish. You're not Irish. You're American. You're called a narrowback. You have nothing to do. Stop this bullshit about, well, I'm Irish. Hey, it's St. Patty's Day. We're gonna come out. I'm Irish. You're not Irish. Your name is, O'Flannery or what? So what? You don't speak Gaelic. You've never been. Stop this. Well, that was mild compared to this. At least somebody could say, all right, maybe, I guess, I'm African. Well, we're all African. I know, but, well, there wasn't the diaspora, but I think Australopithecus africanus means a little something. I think the fact that we are all from this, but that doesn't matter. No, because to you, it's the color of your skin. And even within the realms and the halls and the warrens and the chambers of American cultural negritude, you'll even start comparing or talking about shades of blackness and whose skin is darker. You've heard it. I've heard it. We've all heard this. Okay. So even then, this it's to you, it's color of skin, hair, texture, nose, eyes, lips, weight, stature. That's it. Physiognomy, morphology, the phenotype of negritude. What was that? Oh, negritude. We're waiting for a flood to hit. Okay? We are as synthetic and as pathetic as you can imagine in this country. We have nothing to do with blackness. We have nothing to do with any of this stuff. Nobody is black. Nobody is white. It's a cultural thing. It's culture. You are born and raised in a black culture. Could be urban, could be whatever. You were born in an Asian. I have a friend of mine. We talked to y'all yesterday. She is, of course, she's Chinese from China. She's in the Chinese culture. She's legit. She's really Chinese. From China. That's it. And she has Chinese friends. We know her kind of tangentially. We socialize. We don't hang out. I don't know anything about that Chinese. I know more Chinese. I'm around more Chinese people. I'm around more people in this city than you can imagine. I know more Russians, Egyptians, Brazilians, name it. I don't know them. I don't know anything about them. She's Chinese, but a lot of people here aren't. They have nothing to do with it. But something happened. The radical left, the people who control this, the fallen academics, the folks who, I guess for reasons I don't know, they decide that they're going to do something different. They're going to push the idea of not only black, but biracial. Remember during the course of COVID, every time we turned around, there was another biracial, interracial, whatever you want to call it, arrangement. Every commercial, Verizon, T-Mobile, you name it, it was the same thing over and over and over and over, the same thing over and over. I know there were no white men and white women marriage, no same sex. Black marriages there were. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every TV, if there's a commercial, if there's a community college, black girl, black young men, no whites. And if there are maybe Asian, Indian, whites were out of the picture. The evil, stamped with evil, not the mark of Cain, the mark of I don't know what. Snow White, Lily White, blanched. I don't know what the word is. I don't know what you want to call this. But let me tell you what's happening. And this is critical for you to understand. We are living in a world right now where we just said, that's it. And the response has been overwhelming. Much like the same reaction that I'm saying that people saw during the Soviet times, who remember the worst part about whether it was Stalin or Brezhnev or Khrushchev or whatever the hell it was bread lines, toilet paper, things like that. We will remember during this dark period of time, weird pun, but this dark period of time when the radical left were in charge, we are forced to understand and to tolerate this nonsense, this total nonsense about fat. I'm going to say it, not just overweight or non-traditional, not plus size, but I mean obese, gargantuan, hippopotamized, supersized, double wide, huge, just bizarrely, I mean circus, freak show, Coney Island fat. Nothing to be, I mean serious health problems, serious. Forget diabetes and hypertension and high blood pressure, but and all of them, they're saying, I'm going to embrace my beauty. And if I didn't know better, I would think the people who were behind that, believe it or not, the first time, were sarcastic white people who really hated black people, who wanted black people to kill themselves by perpetuating this nonsense, this ridiculousness that says that somehow they were going to be, I don't know what, embracing this, what have you. It's ridiculous. So enter Sydney Sweeney. Who knew? White girl. People say she's attractive and she's young and she's thin, blonde haired, blue eyed. Oh no. And she says, I've got better genes, Geans, which indicates some type of reference to genetics, Mengele like, positive eugenics. Well, if you want to talk about eugenics, go no further than our friend Margaret Sanger at that pathetic and awful and terrible Planned Parenthood. You got that? You got that? And the reaction has been beautiful. And then every one of these trolls, every one of these mollusks, every one of these fists with eyes, these tarantula-like arachnids, these hideous hominids who decide to go up on their Twitter and TikTok this far away so they can smash that cyclopsian gargoyle-like face with the purple hair and the studs and the tattoos and this and that and those big, how about those big circular ear things where you're left with this flappy, stupid. These Antifa recruits sitting there screaming in the front seat of their car or wherever it is, yelling about what, because they have no soul and they're going crazy. And I love it. Do you hear what I'm saying? I love it. The enemy of my enemy is my enemy, and the enemy is an enemy, and they're my enemy. They're my common sense enemy, my rational thinking enemy. I loathe, I despise these people in ways you can't imagine. And we have made victory. This may seem like some stupid ad to you, but you're missing the point. This is more symbolic than anything you can imagine. Common sense is returning. Blonde-haired, blue one. My beloved wife catches more grief in public. More grief. I've seen it from CVS and Walgreens types when she walks in and she's got to ask for some kind of help to pick up her goddamn soap that's kept under lock and key because some thieving savage, some boorish miscreant decides they're going to go in with a trash bag and clean everything out. And I got to put up with this bullshit. And I can't tell you exactly. I know exactly who this is. Are these wandering hordes of Irish American? No. Are these bands of skells from the Asian? No. How about are they a bunch of Italian mafia-like thugs? No. How about who are they? You know exactly who they are. Urban black kids in this rampage. Certain factions who seem to be told it's okay. You can just go on these wilding exhibitions. And we see them all the time. Times Square jumping on top of cars because they are told. Kids are stupid. They will eat Tide Pods. Our friend Ryan says, these far left nuts think American Eagle has some secret nefarious plan to send racist eugenic messages through advertisements. It's insane. With all due respect, my dear friend, thank you. No, they don't. They're trying to convince you. They just don't like it because here's the best reason. You ready for this? And I'm going to say this, and it's going to hurt. But there are so many people who are so jealous because they look at this blonde, blue-eyed, they think she's attractive or she's shapely or whatever the hell you want to call it. And they are going ape shit bananas green with envy. They hate it. They hate her because they know this is what people think almost universally since day one, since Hollywood. Now, that's not to say this is not the only form of beauty in the world, but no. Is macaroni and cheese good? It's delicious. Is that the only thing that's good? No. Pizza's great too. Does pizza taste like macaroni and cheese? No. Equally loved. And what they're doing is they're trying to tell you who were some of these. Oh, who was it? Lizzo is one. Who were these other something? Yeah, Lizzo. She won the Ozempic. She lost a lot of weight. So if this goddamn weight is so terrific, and if she's so beautiful, she's taking the shot. You know how that goes. That's going to be a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till you see the pancreatitis. Wait till you see thyroid. You wait till you see what happens. What? Who are the other ones? Lizzo, something the Destroyer. What's her name? That's a wrestler. Megan Thee Stallion. Is that a big one? Is she a biggie? See, they're all losing weight. Gee, I wonder why. I thought it was so great. Don't worry the fact that now they're betraying their weight. How about the black actresses who all of a sudden are getting who are becoming lighter? How is that supposed to be? How does this work? White folks want to get darker. They want to get tan. Black folks want to get lighter. White folks want to have thicker lips through collagen and curly hair. And it's like everybody's nuts. Everybody wants to be something they are not. This has been the tip of the spear in the cultural war, because it's the most ridiculous. And there are people who actually advocate that. I was listening the other day to something which is interesting. First of all, my favorite, and I think they're gone, and that is those eyelash stupid flossy. You know, like those. Remember that? What was it? Elsie the cow? She had the cartoon. Remember the big flossy eyelashes that look so stupid? They were cartoon. I think. Don't you think they're kind of gone? I'm not seeing them as much. Not like at first. Oh my God! And then the long fingernails that went. It was ridiculous. First time they tried to wipe their butt, they realized that's a real problem. So that became look, we're adults, okay? Those blades you have on your, that's great unless you got to pick your nose or scratch. Oh, scratching might be terrific. It's stupid. It's stupid. One time we were talking, I'm looking at people, cops, New York City cops standing on the corner, big beat cops, big, fat, on their phone with their eyelashes, waddling. Where they got these uniforms, I have no idea. Steatopigean. And by the way, it's not just black, white. It's white as well. Fat. And the first thing they do in certain aspects, you gain as much weight as possible, and then you lather yourself with every conceivable ugly tattoo you can imagine. Everything. Cover everything. Especially even if your skin tone, your skin hue, doesn't even allow you to see what it is you're supposedly getting tattooed. Doesn't that make sense? Jimmy Walker one time had one of the best jokes ever. He said, some folks with dark, it's not just black, but I don't see a lot of Indian tattoos. I see that henna, whatever that stuff is. But anyway, he said it was like skywriting at night. I'm thinking, how deranged. You're going to a tattoo parlor, you're having thousands of dollars of tats put on, and I can't see them. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the insanity of this. It's funny. It's stupid. Now we're seeing Chipotle. It's coming to flash flood warning. Hear that? The warnings. It's rolling in. Do not travel. Flash floods. Unless you were fleeing, you're subject to evacuations. We're not going anywhere right now. This is the most incredible thing, and it is just. So finally, somebody says, let's take this Swedish Inger Stevens kind of, Oktoberfest. Oh, and it's not just that. Did you see the Dunkin' Donuts? They got some blonde dude named Biff, some all-American Ken doll with this, white as white can be with a blonde hair. Oh, Jesus. They're going back. Now look at me. Do I look like I don't relate to this? You know why? Let me see if I can say this. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm busy. I don't look like, I don't know who, Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt doesn't look like me because I'm who I am. And I'm better than Brad Pitt because I'm me. See the mug? They don't just give these mugs to anybody. You got to earn them. And you can purchase one if you like. I've never understood this. It's like lamenting. It's like people who put lifts in their shoes. Men, listen. If you, honest to God, are worried about your height, ask Al Pacino, ask Carlo Gambino, ask you seriously. If this is, what are you, a lumberjack? What, did you get turned down for SEAL Team 6? What the hell's the matter with you? My favorite, you see Robert Downey Jr. You know, Tom Cruise, at least he has these lifts. He has these shoes they look better. Robert Downey Jr.'s got heels. He looks like a flamenco dancer. He's walking around with these heels on and these platforms. Like, don't, dude, as the kids say, don't you even hide this? Dear God, I don't understand any of this. But that was mild compared to whatever. So here comes Sydney Sweeney, young. I don't know how old she is, but she's young. Blonde. Oh, blue-eyed, not covered in tats. Looks like a woman, and men are going ape shit over her. And a bunch of jealous, mean-spirited trolls, troglodytes, and gargoyles are so pissed off that instead of saying, I hate myself because she's attractive and I am not. Oh, no. That doesn't work. I hate myself because I look like a fist with eyes. I look like Broderick Crawford in drag. I couldn't get lucky nude on a Greek galley ship or a lumberjack camp. I'm a dog. I'm a waste of flesh. I am disgusting. No, they can't do that. No. They've got to say, this is Mengele-like eugenics. Would you stop that? If you can't see through this, there's nothing to do with Mengele or eugenics. It's a bunch of jealous people who, by the way, is pretty clever. If you look honest to God, if you look like a fist with eyes, if you, for whatever reason, find yourself, if you look every day like you're going to a Comic-Con convention, have you noticed that? Do you know that in New York, we can't tell when it's Comic-Con because it looks like that every day? Hey, there's a guy walking down with a severed head and the side dressed as a robot. So what? That's the guy working at CVS. That's the security guard. We see this all the time. This is mental illness that's become, I guess, performance-based or something. But I love this more than anything else. I love it. And one day, all these freaks, all these gargantuan man-mountain haystacks Calhoun, these hideous people with the purple hair, pink this, spiked studs, and then neck tattoos. You know who looks like a goddamn fool? That David Beckham. What is the matter with you? Look at Joe Rogan. What are you, some kind of what do they call it? Not Kira's, the you know what I'm talking about, the Japanese style. You're some kind of a Russian prison tat. Oh, please. Let me tell you what she's going to do. And I can't wait. No tats. And I can see it. New trend. No tats. And then you get these doctors are just sitting back and waiting. You know how you're seeing tinnitus commercials on TV? Remember on radio? It used to be tinnitus. Then it was, before there was restless leg. Before that it was, I don't know what that was. Jumpy leg. Oh, then they have these Lumi. Hey, I'm an OBGYN, and I discovered this stuff you can use to lather on your back crack and sack. Huh? She created it so you don't have to walk. So your crotch can smell like Newark after a bad rain, like a sewer backed up, but no problem. Lather on this stuff, this perfume, to cover up the funk and the bile and the inguinal, the dreck coming from seeping orifices and axillary. You could bake, you could put it this way, you could do sourdough bread in your shorts. Okay? You're a walking infection. No problem. Bathing, you're too busy to bathe. You're sitting on your couch in jammies, walking around with those slides and those stupid ankle slots, waiting for Grubhub to drop off your order because you've been remote working or whatever you want to call it, gig working. You're a gig worker. What does that mean? Unemployed. You're watching Netflix and you're waiting for the food to come up. So I got this thing to lather. You can lather your nads with it and try to maybe redirect the funk and the bats and the gnats and the flies, and there's rodents that are scratching at the door. It's bad when cadaver dogs keep showing up at your apartment. There's nobody here. Can we check? Welfare check. Is there a rotting corpse here? No, it's me. I don't bathe. I'm too busy. I'm protesting. Protesting what? American Eagle. This Sydney Sweeney chick. Because I'm a loser. I'm a loser. I'm an absolute loser. Look at me. My big deal, I'm walking around, I slide across with spandex and horrible, horrible old flip-flops. My feet look like fetlocks, gnarled toes, yellowed, turning and curling, getting that weird calcified streaks. You need veterinary clippers that clip these things. And even if you could, you can't bend over. You can't bend over. Why? Because you've got basically the state of Vermont around your waist. Panis, paniculus, these spare tires, the tenter-bellied, oh my God, bingo wings and tats. Oh, yeah. Tats that say, only God will tell or judge. Remember that? It was a great Brett Ernst said, you lay tile. Up the neck. Hi, I'm here for that position where they got this woman, this poor woman who was killed. She's at Blackstone making a gazillion dollars. And these radical left commie bastards have her Luigi'd because she says they're selling, they're making money. Capitalism. Say what you want. They gun her down. They're not going to get a job at Blackstone. Why? Because they've got spider webs coming up their neck. Because some Beckham wannabe, that's okay if you're Beckham, if you're Joe Rogan, but if you're trying to get some mid-management, forget it. You look like a serial killer. Remember what this one comedian said? I don't know who it was, but he said, if you see an old man covered in tattoos, he's a killer. 70-year-old men who are covered in tattoos that are old, he's a killer. A kid who does that, he's a barista named Todd in Williamsburg. Ridiculous. We've lost our minds. Sydney Sweeney is the clarion call. We're getting back to normal again. Go look at people from the 20s and 30s. Look at Hollywood. Look at what Louis B. Mayer. Look at Veronica Lake and Rita Hayworth and Greta Garbo and Audrey Hepburn and Sophia Loren. And just go down the list. Go down the list. Each one of them look like, even June Lockhart. People had a degree of, I don't know what the word is, whether it's pulchritude or class or panache. Grace Kelly. Who's the Grace Kelly today? Well, Mrs. L, but who is her? Well, I'm the Fritz Feld. That's who was married to, or the guy that was always the you know what I'm talking about. This is so refreshing to me. And I can't get people to understand why it is so critical. And it's driving people crazy. Driving people crazy. Guess what's through the roof right now? Gender reveals. Got a friend of the family, they're having a gender reveal. And I said, but there aren't genders. Oh, yes, there are. Well, don't you want to not put down genders? What? No. I thought you young kids, I don't know what you're talking about. Remember when people said, we're going to leave it blank? What? We're going to leave it blank on the birth certificate. By the way, you don't want to hear what I have to say about Candace Owens. Oh, oh. Remember I told you. You don't want to hear this. I like her. Okay. See, but the people who were suing her, the people who sued Dominion, they don't want her. I mean, they do, just for fun. But they want all the people who had her on their show, who republished this. The Joe Rogans, the Tim Dillons, or whoever these people are. Oh, they want that one. That's what they want. That's what they want to take everybody down. Well, you remember this? But in the meantime, while all that gender stuff, nobody believes in this. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. No, sonography is not out of business. No, it's ridiculous. So this is good news, my friend. Good news. So rejoice, Emmanuel. And I mean that. And the more it drives them crazy, the better it is. And we are just laughing, posting up all of these. Have you seen these? I think these people are serious. There's one woman who says, if I find out that anybody is there's something wrong with these people. If somebody is wrong, if somebody believes in this American Eagle, I'm not going to let you into my Pilates class. Or if I do, I'm going to make sure I make it real hard. You're the instructor of the spinning. I mean, this is delusion. Or maybe they can sit in the front seat of their car and scream and yell. Remember those people? We're getting our sanity back. And every now and then we see, it's like when the patient's doing better. Hey, good news, why? Well, the fever broke. Hey, he's walking. Hey, he got his appetite back. The blurred vision is gone. The pain in the lower back is gone. These are improvements. This was an improvement. The very fact, and that Dylan Mulvaney, oh God, I can't stand her. Her, it, they. Are you with me on this? Are you with me on this? Look at me. Who's with me? How do I know you're with me? How do I know you're with me? I don't know if anybody's even paying attention. Hillbilly says we are winning. We are winning. Do you think you're winning? Do you? Do you think this is just some momentary? Doesn't really matter. You're not paying attention. This is big. This is big. Okay? Look at me. I've never steered you wrong, ever. And it drives you crazy because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You got it? That's what I think. On WABC, I've been doing this. I got this? Got that? All right, my friend. And Donald Trump, let me tell you something. Do me a favor about Donald Trump. Just shut up with Donald Trump. There's nobody else. He's it. He's it. He's it. He's it. He's the only one. Notice how Pam Bondi's they've been announcing these things and other people. Pam Bondi, where is she? I think they told Pam, go away. Take it easy. You scratched your eye. And Dan Bongino, that little bitch. I've never felt such a deep. Get the. All right, my friends. This is the end of the month. Have you enjoyed me this month? Have I brought you pleasure? Have I brought you happiness? Have I brought you enlightenment? Well, do you think this is just effortless for me? Do you think your involvement in this is just sitting back, taking and taking and taking? I know you do. Because you are part of the entitled, aren't you? Well, let me tell you something. You better enjoy me as long as you can. Because there's nobody like me. You know it and I know it. Follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Don't forget our legal channel at Lionel Legal. This morning we were doing a live at 12:15. midnight, every day, weeknights, Monday through Friday. There's Howie Brown. Howie Brown, God damn it, Howie. Look at that. Look at Howie. Howie's showing his love. You're okay, Howie. I don't care what they say about you. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. I don't care. It was a long time ago. It was a carnival, for God's sakes. What do you want under the big top? What do you want? It's a circus or the midway, whatever the phrase is. All right, don't forget. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Like this video. Likes, like. The like is critical. The like is what makes it matter. The like, dear friends. The like. And Freddie Haddad, thank you, my friends. Freddie Haddad's there all the time. Haddad or Haddad. Fred, how do you pronounce your name? That is Middle Eastern. We had a doctor, Maurice Haddad. When we were kids, he was an eye doctor. Maurice, I think he was Syrian or Lebanese. I don't know. But he was a fine man. All right, my friends. Thank you so very much. Have a great and a glorious and a beautiful day. We're winning. We're winning. And to Sydney Sweeney, good for you. You're driving them nuts. All right, my friends. Have a wonderful day. Don't ever change. And don't forget, as we always end with this valedictory, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.